The conversation began with a mixture of rivalry, confidence, and curiosity about who would be recognized as the leading figure in the Professional Fighters League. A remark was made regarding a girl who had accused Dakota of being a cheater while simultaneously claiming that she herself would become the new face of the league. Such a statement was met with a combination of amusement and incredulity because Dakota was already widely considered the central figure of the PFL. The notion that anyone could supplant her so quickly seemed improbable. The discussion moved into a hypothetical. If this challenger were removed from contention, would that automatically make Dakota the face of the PFL? The answer was emphatic, confident, and playful. Indeed, it would, and such a fight, if it happened, would undoubtedly draw enormous attention. The conversation naturally evolved into a discussion about fighting styles. Tyler's name was mentioned, a fighter known for standing her ground and turning every contest into a striking heavy battle. Dakota, in contrast, would be the one who had to operate with precision, maintain effective range, and avoid unnecessary exchanges that might compromise her control of the fight. The contrasting styles promised an exciting matchup, blending intelligence, movement, and aggression. Attention then shifted to Dakota's opponent at that time. The question was direct. What kind of threat did this fighter pose? Dakota's response was blunt and unwavering. Her opponent presented no real problems. However, she acknowledged that fighters who come into a match with nothing to lose are often the most dangerous because they are willing to risk everything for victory. As the reigning tournament champion from the previous year, Dakota understood that every fighter entering the cage with her was attempting to claim her hard-earned position. Her opponent, Abasamo, held an 8-1 record and brought experience from a previous tenure with Bellator before joining PFL. She was competent, prepared, and skilled, and Dakota recognized that she would come into the fight ready to give her absolute best. Despite this recognition, her confidence did not waver. The opponent would not present a problem once the fight began. Dakota had anticipated every possible scenario, and she trusted her preparation, skill, and adaptability to ensure control of the contest from the opening bell. Once the fight commenced, Dakota immediately demonstrated the combination of skill, composure, and power that had built her reputation. She controlled distance effectively, using precise front kicks to keep her opponent at bay. One early kick landed cleanly, snapping the opponent's head back and signaling the level of precision and timing she brought to the cage. Whenever the opponent attempted to close in, Dakota's defense, combined with sharp knees and elbows, neutralized threats. Clinch attempts were met with immediate counters, and takedown efforts were expertly reversed, transforming defensive moments into offensive opportunities. By the end of the first round, Dakota had established complete control. Her striking was cleaner, her defense superior, and her ability to read and adapt to her opponent's movements was evident. The first round set the tone, demonstrating that Dakota was not merely competing but dictating the pace and strategy of the fight. The second round intensified. Dakota maintained her momentum, driven by an awareness that opponents often become increasingly desperate as a fight progresses. She began the round with another front kick that landed cleanly, followed by a steady flow of mid-range strikes. At one point, she suffered an injury to her left hand, signaling the issue to her corner. However, instead of reducing intensity, she adapted immediately. She increased her use of kicks, right-hand strikes, and precise elbows to compensate for the compromised hand. Despite the injury, Dakota landed over 170 total strikes during the fight, maintaining dominance and demonstrating endurance, tactical intelligence, and focus. Her opponent attempted counters and takedowns, but Dakota's timing, movement, and takedown defense ensured that none were successful. Each strike, feint, and adjustment reinforced her control while minimizing vulnerability. Switching stances, combining spinning kicks with front kicks, and delivering leg kicks in sequences kept her opponent guessing and unable to establish a rhythm or counter effectively. The third round highlighted Dakota's adaptability and mental toughness. She shifted stances deliberately, varied her strikes, and mixed spinning techniques with precise knees and elbows. Her opponent, visibly swollen, bruised, and exhausted, absorbed the punishment while refusing to go down. Despite the obvious pain in her hand and body, Dakota launched a final flurry of strikes in the closing moments, signaling her intent to finish decisively. The bell rang, concluding the 3-round contest. The result was clear. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27 in favor of Dakota. She emerged victorious, extending her undefeated record and reaffirming her status as one of the most formidable fighters in the PFL flyweight division. Following the fight, she expressed a combination of frustration and relief. While she was pleased with the victory, the injury to her hand reminded her of the challenges inherent in a career marked by intense competition. She also confirmed a new contract extension with the PFL, signaling her commitment to continuing her career at the top level and preparing to face the winner of the upcoming match between Liz Carmouche and Gina Bishop. Looking back at Dakota's earlier career highlights, her fight on November 1, 2016, against Emma Bragg stands out. At the time, Dakota was still building her reputation, and few fans recognized her potential. Emma Bragg, a seasoned British fighter, entered the contest with confidence, aiming to control pace and distance through composure and strategic striking. From the opening bell, Dakota demonstrated her speed, timing, and tactical intelligence. Every jab, cross, and kick was precise, countering Emma's attempts to control exchanges. Clinch attempts were neutralized with powerful knees to the body, showcasing Dakota's ability to blend offensive strikes with defensive awareness. She landed a combination that snapped Emma's head back, setting the tone for the fight. Despite Emma's resilience, Dakota's pressure was relentless. By the end of the first round, her superiority in speed, timing, and tactical execution was evident, laying the groundwork for her career trajectory as a dominant force in women's MMA. The second round against Emma highlighted Dakota's finishing instinct. Emma attempted to regain control with punches and body kicks, but Dakota closed the distance rapidly, landing clean strikes and neutralizing clinch attempts with knees. A decisive knee to the ribs ended the fight via TKO, marking a significant early victory. This performance showcased Dakota's explosive power, technical skill, and ability to finish opponents efficiently. Even at an early stage in her career, she demonstrated attributes that would later define her legacy: speed, precision, adaptability, and the ability to dominate opponents regardless of experience or reputation. Every subsequent fight would continue to reflect these qualities, cementing her as a formidable presence in women's mixed martial arts. Throughout Dakota's career, a recurring theme has been her combination of preparation, precision, and adaptability. Against every opponent, she demonstrated technical mastery, strategic intelligence, and the mental fortitude necessary to excel under pressure. Victories were not merely physical, they were strategic, reflecting a deep understanding of her own strengths and her opponent's tendencies. Dakota consistently adapted in real time, modifying tactics to compensate for injuries, capitalize on openings, and maintain control. Her fights were not static, they evolved as the contest progressed, reflecting her dynamic approach to combat. Fans and analysts alike recognized that Dakota's dominance was built not only on physical prowess but also on psychological insight, awareness, and decision-making. Dakota's style has always been multifaceted. She is dangerous at range with front kicks, spinning strikes, and jabs, while equally potent in close quarters with knees, elbows, and combinations. She blends offensive and defensive strategies seamlessly, ensuring that she remains a threat regardless of position. Her ability to adapt mid-fight distinguishes her from other competitors, allowing her to exploit opponents' mistakes and respond effectively to challenges. This adaptability is grounded in rigorous preparation, analysis of opponents, and mastery of multiple techniques. Every fight illustrates her commitment to maintaining control, exploiting weaknesses, and achieving dominance through skill, strategy, and resilience. Her career is also defined by professionalism outside the cage. Interviews, post-fight discussions, and media interactions reveal a thoughtful, dedicated athlete who understands the physical and mental demands of MMA. Dakota addresses strategy, preparation, and mindset with clarity, demonstrating insight that complements her in-cage performances. She is acutely aware of risks, injuries, and the pressures associated with maintaining an undefeated record, yet she approaches each challenge with focus, discipline, and a commitment to excellence. Her engagement with fans and media reinforces her reputation, showing a competitor who combines talent with professionalism and relatability.